The Xfinity Series heads to Michigan this weekend, but before we look ahead, let's take a look back at that dramatic finish last weekend at Road America. And with me is Kyle Petty and Parker Kligerman, who was a part of that great finish there. Although I know it wasn't as great for you, but a week later, Parker, how do you view that finish? How do you look at what happened?
Well, it's pretty cool, to be a part of something that, in a lot of ways becomes one of those iconic finishes in NASCAR, right? When you have a wild 2 laps like we had there, you see Allgaier, who dominated the race, get spun and obviously doesn't have a chance to win. And then we headed off into 12, 13, and 14. And I like to say that the joke was it was a death sentence to be a leader at that point because of the speedy dry that was on the track. You have Sam Mayer, who goes off in 13 or 12, then Sage Karam, who's in front of me, who goes off in 13, and then I was leading the 14. I thought, all right, we got this 100, but for about 100 feet, I thought that, and then I hit the speedy dry into 14 and lost the rear of my car, and Sam Mayer was able to get back by, and then I actually ran like a couple hundredths faster lap on the last lap. I just couldn't quite get to him, which was unfortunate, but it was cool to be there, part of this and just see this awesome finish and how fans have reacted to it over the last couple of days. And just, it's fun to be in those positions. This is why we all race. We want to be in those last lap dramatic duels to try and get a win. And we were close. We came up short of one spot. One other thing just to point out was that Road America this past weekend was wild in that it was repaved. It was 3.5, 5 seconds a lap faster. We were going almost 10 miles an hour faster into turn 1 than we were in years prior, and almost 180 miles an hour in the Xfinity car. So that was part of what just added to the intensity of this battle. And I wish we, had the checkered flag and could be talking about the win. But as I said, it's cool to be a part of moments like that in NASCAR that fans will remember forever. And I'll remember because I don't remember a time on one lap that I went from 4th or 5th to leading a race. So that was a pretty wild lap for me as well.
I look at that last lap, and I'm gonna say this, and I think everyone involved in that race did an amazing job those last 2 or 3 laps. I'm gonna say this about road courses, especially when we get a green, white checkered, and we toss around the phrase risk versus reward all the time. But this is the ultimate risk versus reward. Do you drive in 2 car lengths deeper? Do you jump into that guy? Do you rub him a little bit? What is your risk and what is going to be your reward? Your risk is you're going to finish 35th or 36th. Look at Justin Allgaier. You're going to finish at the back of the pack. Your reward is you take home a trophy. And this is the ultimate game of risk versus reward. So anytime they throw a caution flag late in a road course race, no matter what kind of road course race, but especially a NASCAR road course race, I'm watching, baby. I'm watching. It's a highlight reel for the ages.
So Sam Mayer won that race, and as he's his first win in the series, 8th different winner this season. And I just asked both of you, starting with Parker, since you're competing in the series, how have you seen the level of competition increase in the Xfinity Series this season?
Yeah, it has been pretty incredible just to see the level of competition. I'm not just saying that because I'm in it, right? It really is a very close series, and you have about 15, 16 cars that are very well funded, all similar funding. All of us either have, are direct with a Cup team or affiliated with a Cup team of some respect. And so when you look at that, the equipment level that's in the series right now is quite high. And then you have a lot of great drivers in great cars and great teams that are going to, make it a really tough thing to win. And I think that's what you're seeing this year. And it's, the Xfinity Series, I feel like, has been on that trajectory for a little while when you've sort of look at what they've done with removing the Cup drivers, really incentivizing teams to invest in being full-time and having a full-time driver going for the championship. All those things, it's what you want to see. And so, when I look at the motorsport landscape, the Xfinity Series to me is obviously in the top 3 in America and probably top 5 in the world in terms of competitiveness and the size of it and the viewership. And so it's a really cool series. It's classic stock cars as we've known for the last 20 or some odd years, right? And so it's a little different flavor than what you see in the Cup Series on Sundays. And I think that's perfect. I think it really has its own identity now. And that, creates the competition we're seeing right now. And I think for me, I just got to stay focused, though, on getting above that cut line. I think we will, no doubt in my mind. And I think we'll get that first win here soon. And so we can be part of that competition that's getting in victory lane.
Yeah, I look at the competition level in Xfinity, and I think it doubled, and then it's almost tripled from what it was a number of years ago. In the past, you had 8 guys that pushed and 8 guys that rode, and they made the top. And that's it. I'm sorry, and I hate to say that, but that's the way it is. Now you've got 18 or 19 guys that push constantly. They know they've got to get out there. They've got to get their finishes. They've got to run up front. They've got to get stage points. There is no riding anymore if you want to be successful in the Xfinity Series. I think that has brought the level up. The new teams, the team that Parker drives for, the teams that have jumped into that competitive arena and are challenging for points and challenging for wins. That makes the upper teams and the teams that establish teams, let me put it that way, that makes them have to push harder. We've seen mechanical failure. We've seen driver mistakes. We've seen accidents. We've seen so many things that will shake up this point system. Just a few weeks ago, everyone was handing the regular season championship to John Hunter, and look what happened a couple of weeks later. So that's the competitive nature of this series, and it is phenomenal to watch every Saturday.
Well, fans can watch Parker and others in the Xfinity Series push this weekend at Michigan at 3 p.m. Eastern. Coverage begins on NBC and Peacock. Thanks for joining us for Motormouths, presented by Toyota.
Hi, I'm Parker Kligerman. For more access like this from Pit Road, be sure to click and subscribe to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube channel.